Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, episode 416, titled Hey World, which premiered Monday, May 20, 2019 on the CW. I'm recording roughly 10 minutes after the episode is aired, so huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. It is the season finale, so a lot of things are going to be tied up as well as being left at cliffhangers. So we'll get right into that. I'm going to try to do this in 10 minutes. Spoiler alerts are on screen, but let's start the clock. Let's begin with what happened in this episode. So timeline wise, I'm going to say it continues straight from where 415 had left off. The huge episode reminder being it's the season finale, and the villains being Neuron and Tabitha. Yeah, for the most part, it's them. Do I want to count Astra? Maybe at the very end, but we'll get to that. Episode breakdown, I pretty much I'm going to slide it into two different storylines. First one being retrieving Ray's soul, and the second one being theme park Hayworld. The first storyline, we see Nora finding Constantine in hell, and then Constantine making a deal with Astra for her help to retrieve Ray's soul so that they can take it topside, so they can then find a way to separate Neuron from Ray's body to return the soul back to him. So there's that. And then the second story deals with the creation of the Hayworld park. They do this by using the Book of Bridget, which is that whole creativity book thing that we got with the that Mick's been using for his Garima appearances. But anyways, since Neuron wants to use fear to open up the portal to hell to allow his legion to come topside, the Legends thought that using the theme park to counteract that fear would be their solution. So we see a lot of them trying to use the park to show people that creatures aren't to be feared. They are magical in their own way. So there's that. So the last moments of the episode show Astra back in hell, bringing back some evil souls that she stole the coins from Neuron's vault. And there are some nefarious souls. We do see a few of the names on screen. I think it was Joseph Stalin was one of them. Genghis Khan, maybe, I think, was another one. And then Caligula was another one. Those are the only ones I can distinctly remember seeing the names for. But it's possibly might be them returning again. But it looks like she pretty much had those souls be given a second chance on Earth, which are definitely going to bring a lot of destructive things to it. So there's that. So tidbit-wise, though, we do find out that Zari is actually 9 years old in 2019, which makes her born in 2010, which makes the Zari that we've been dealing with 32 years old since she's from the year 2042. So that's a little math for you there. But also with the creation of Hayworld, we do see that because of this, it causes a shift in the timeline greatly. So with the creation of Hayworld, it brings about a future of understanding, which is not the future that Zari is from. So because of this shift, her memories of that world are going to change if she allows the timeline to solidify. So the whole thing was that she was supposed to stay in the temporal zone to avoid her memories being altered completely. But instead, in order to be there for Nate during this shift in the timeline, she is not in the temporal zone and she is replaced where she's supposed to be. So there's that. Because of this, the Legends teams have no memory of Zari, and it looks like they're being replaced by her brother, because he still has the Air Totem bracelet from the looks of it, and the similarities and everything. But Nate reacted to him not like a stranger, which I initially thought he would until they showed the Air Totem, but like as a comrade type thing. So they don't remember Zari. We do also see Nora is still the fairy godmother by the end of the episode. We also see Nathan getting a moment to say goodbye to his father, as they are both ghosts, because that was one of the shockers of the episode, was the fact that Nathan died in the episode by Neuron's hands in order for Neuron to get ejected from Ray's body, since he broke their deal. So Neuron was tricked, obviously, for that. So let's move on to the most shocking moment of the episode. First one has to be the fact that Ray has a Jenga buddy while in hell, and that ended up being Vandal Savage, who was sent to Ray's cell to torture him, and they ended up talking and playing giant Jenga together. Only Ray could do that, to be honest. Only Ray could do it. And then another shocker was the fact that the Monitor appeared in the crowd during the superhero show at Hayworld. And it was an ominous little appearance, but then after things started heating up and tension started rising, he brought out the popcorn and he started eating it and enjoying the show. So who knows if that was really all he was there for. But at least that ties it into the fact that he appeared in all 4 of the Arrowverse finales within this past week. So there's that. Also tying it into the crossover event in later this year. So there's that. So let's move on to top 3 favorite moments. First moment I have to say has to be Nathan's revival. As cheesy as the whole display was, and you know that Legends is the only show that could pull it off, I'm so glad it worked. I was surprised when Nathan ended up being killed. I mean, I understand why it had to be done in order to save Ray, but the way that they were going to try to bring him back, that was a surprise. So I was willing to set the cheesiness aside if it meant that Nathan was going to live after all this. But it was just, despite the cheesiness, it was a great form of unity, and to have people outside of the team also helping out was a great way as well. Also, another favorite I did have was the superhero representation. Not only did we finally get to see the fake commercial that we had Supergirl Sarah, Green Arrow Nathan, and Flash Gary try to perform, but we also see during the superhero performance show Sarah being the White Canary and Nathan being Steel, and actually in their usual getup, which is a great thing to finally see, because again, like I said, we don't really, I think Gary wearing Nathan's uniform last episode is the first time in a long time I've seen that episode and that suit come out. And then same with Sarah. It's been a while since we've seen her in the White Canary gear, if you don't count her appearance on Arrow in 7/18, I believe. But yeah, so I'm glad that they got to stick to their own personas. So that was pretty cool there. It was also funny how they jabbed at the fact that, oh, we should have done the crossover this year since they weren't part of the Elseworlds crossover. So that was always funny as well. So there is that. But yeah, that was funny there. Another favorite I did have the episode was Charlie's speeches, especially to the magical creatures, and how she was saying that it's up to them to take the first step to get the humans to see that they're not all bad, that there is good to them. They just have to help them, give them the opportunity to see that. She had great inspirational speeches. She always does, because she's on the other side. But yeah, it's very interesting to get that. So I really appreciated that she had her moment to shine there. Another favorite I did have was the fact that Neuron and Tabitha were destroyed. Tabitha got eaten by the grown dragon that ended up turning back into a baby dragon. And then Neuron ended up being destroyed by Constantine after being tricked out of Ray's body, which I thought was pretty cool as well, that they managed to trick him. That was cool there. I actually thought it was Constantine he killed at first, but then to find out that it was Nathan, it was just like, whoa. Okay. Also, one little tiny little peeve though was the fact that none of the Legends team, is it because the Legends team couldn't fight Neuron off when he was trying to choke the life out of Constantine, or were they all just stunned shocked? Because I would be less peeved if they were actually like they're unable to move, but if they were just stuck still and they're like, oh my god, what do we do type of thing, and they could have done something, then I would have been pissed. But they literally couldn't move, then okay, I'll let that slide. But there's that. But let's move on to top 3 peeved moments. The only peeve I have is the fact that Zari's existence got wiped after the creation of Hayworld. I mean, I understand why it happened, and that's one thing I love, is the fact that they kept with the continuity of the timeline, the fact that since they changed this significant moment, which would have led to a better life for her family, that also would have meant that the Zari they know would cease to exist, because she came from a future where they didn't have the best life. So I'm glad that they continued with that. It's a peeve, because now the fact that the memories of the Legends are now changed, because now it's like a catch-22 now? So that's something there. But also, yeah, now I'm a little confused now, because for Zari, when her future got changed, like she wasn't erased from the timeline, her future got changed, the memories of the Legends changed because now she never interacted with them. But then I don't get how that didn't happen, spoiler alert for the Flash finale for 5/22, why did that not happen for the Flash team when Nora's existence got erased? Let alone, why did that not happen when Eobard Thawne's existence was erased in season 1? Like, right? I don't get why Zari... I understand why... Okay. Default, Zari's existence being erased from the memory makes sense, because, like, the whole time jump thing. But then, it doesn't make sense why Thawne's and Nora's memories aren't erased from the over on the Flash when the exact same thing kind of happened, even to a more permanent extent. So that's a peeve there that I didn't really think about until now. But anyways, let's move on to what moment we'll remember most by look back on this episode, season finale, and the fact that we got to see Hayworld. It kind of makes me wonder if we'd ever revisit that set again, or if they would ever create such a thing, and like an inspiration style thing for it. But while they first had that thought come up when it was revealed what Hank wanted to do, and there's a timer, I thought it was a very out there idea, but it makes sense now for sure. So I'll remember that. But let's move on to random questions very quickly. The first one, why is Sarah dressed up as Supergirl when Supergirl doesn't exist on Earth 1? It's not the fact that Kara doesn't exist. It's just that Supergirl as a superhero on Earth 1 is not known. Not like it is on Earth 38 where everybody knows the logo. Everyone knows Superman. They know Supergirl. On Earth 1, we don't have either Kryptonian. So I'm wondering why Sarah is dressed up as Supergirl during the whole promotion attempt that they were trying to do for a commercial. If anything, I thought Black Canary is known, so if anything, Sarah was Canary at one point. Why not just dressed up as her sister, right? That's always an option there. Oliver, obviously, he's been outed as the Green Arrow, so there's that. So it's like, I didn't understand why Sarah, yes, best fits the form of fake Supergirl. I don't get why she would be dressed up as Supergirl when no one on the Earth wouldn't even know who Supergirl is, type of thing. You know what I mean? So that was a question there I had the moment I saw the promo. Another question is, did Zari's future change with... Sorry, let me backtrack. Since Zari's future changed with the creation of Hayworld, does that once again change the features established over on Arrow with the 2040 storyline? Or does it also... Or does it affect the future of Flash, which took place in 2049? Now, we know because of what happened in 522 on the Flash that 2049 has to have changed. To what extent, we don't know, but it has to have changed because of what went down in the finale. And since we saw it change because Nora's, again, spoiler, Nora's existence was erased, the dagger was destroyed, and all that. But now I'm left wondering, we already know how that changed. Is that going to change again because what has happened in this storyline with Hayworld? Does what we know happen in 2040 on Arrow, does that change at all with the future changes that have happened on Flash and on Legends in tonight's episode? Or what's going on? See, this is something why I don't like future storylines, because no matter what you do in the past, you don't know if that was always meant to happen and then the future you see is a result of that, or if future you had changes because of what you've done different. That's so confusing. But that's my question there, and you know how I am about timelines. Go back to my Flash videos and you know what I mean about the whole complaint there. But another question, did the Monitor only appear to watch the superhero performance, or was he meant to do something more in that scene? I mean, I thought when he first showed up, I thought he was going to stir up some trouble. I thought when the whole fire performance started, before it was revealed that it was a dragon and it was Tabitha's doing, I thought that was the Monitor, but he kind of looked a little disappointed at first, and then later on he ended up grabbing popcorn. I don't know, was that all he was meant to do, just to enjoy the show? Or because he did stir up some trouble in the Arrow and the Supergirl finale. Now that I think about it, he didn't appear in the Flash finale, so there is that. And another question, how will Zari's absence affect the Legends? Or will her brother be the placeholder of a lot of the things that took place? And would Gideon also remember Zari, or is that completely gone from the timeline now? So there is that. I mean, Gideon should technically, since she remembers alternate timeline possibilities and such, but I guess we'll wait and see about that. So there is no predictions because it is the season finale. However, CW Upfronts, which happened on May 16th, so 4 days ago, did a huge spoiler when they were talking about Legends of Tomorrow. And I gotta say, I didn't touch about it fully in my Upfronts video just because the finale hadn't aired yet and I didn't want to spoil it. But because the finale had aired, I'm going to read what the Upfront press release had revealed, and you'll see why I mean that they really did spoil how the season would have ended or what to expect long before the finale even aired. So this is what the press release said, and I quote, "To defeat Neuron, the Legends realize in the end that they will have to sacrifice one of their own, but it gets way worse. In attempting to change her future, Zari will accidentally change not just the past she shared with Nate, but fundamentally change who the Legends are in Season 5. Can our team go back to who they were next season? Can a reformed arsonist turned romance novelist mimic Rory, a half-werewolf named Mona Wu, and a punk rocker shapeshifter named Charlie stop the literal hell that Astra unleashes on the world in the finale? And what happens when the Legends awaken the original Guardians of Time, who wish to erase everything the Legends have screwed up for the better over the past 4 seasons?" So when I read that on Thursday, on the 16th, when the upfronts released the thing, I was confused. I was like, wait, did they just spoil the finale for me? And it's just like, wow. And then after watching the finale just now, there are a lot of stuff in the blurb that does give away what was meant to happen in the finale, but it also sets it up for what's supposed to happen in Season 5. So in Season 5, we are meant to meet the original Guardians of Time, which I am going to love seeing, and I really want to get to know not only their thoughts about what the Legends have been doing the last 4 seasons, but what about what's happening over on The Flash and all the constant changes to the timeline? I want to meet these original Guardians of Time and have a little talk with them if I could, or at least get a little insider scoop on their head. So that's one thing there. Also, another thing was the fact that they mentioned that Mick, Mona, and Charlie would be the ones to stop the literal hell that Astra unleashes on the world in the finale. Is that in reference to her little last moment scene with her cashing in those coins of some evil souls and releasing them back on Earth? Because then that line was misleading if that's what they're referring to. But then if not, then I'm wondering, are the 3 going to play a bigger part in the next season if it's in connection to what Astra just unleashed on Earth? It's definitely going to be something to hear about that. Also, what's going to suck is the fact that Legends doesn't return until mid-season next season, instead of starting in October with all the other Arrowverse shows. So we're not gonna get anything Legends related solely. I'm not gonna count if they appear in Arrow, Flash, Batwoman, or Supergirl. But we won't get the show back until at least January. I'm still wondering whether or not the season premiere for Legends is going to be actually part of the Crisis of Infinite Earths crossover, if it is going to be part of that, or if they're going to slightly change the scheduling a little bit so that it falls within. I don't know. Like, I'm still iffy about the timelines for that, though. But all the other scheduling information about next season's run can be found in my CW Upfronts video. It's already online. I'll put a link for that down below if you wish. But that is pretty much it, guys. But what did you guys think of the finale? What did you guys like of it? What do you think will happen next season? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts, theories, and opinions about all that good stuff. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. Go check it out. I'm a little behind. I tried to catch up a little bit yesterday with all the promos, web clips, and synopsis updates. I'm hopefully going to go in to do the GIF and quote updates soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, but be on the lookout for that. Also, WordPress account, link for that is down below. Anything I post online is connected to my WordPress. More organized, more detailed, but still a work in progress as well. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back in not only to see my other videos, but also to come back specifically in July when we get our first dose of spoilers for the next season when San Diego Comic-Con happens. And I will do a video about the Season 5 spoilers for Legends, as well as all the other shows I like to talk about. So be on the lookout for that. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.